How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another video. So, last video left off, we were working on the car. Well, this video we're gonna pick up working on the car again. We're going to finish the wing and put the other tail light back in and basically finish up the rear of the car, which I will show you. So I want to finish up, you know, get the wing on, then get this whole panel on and get the last tail light in, and basically the rear end of this car will be completely finished because it needs to be done. And plus it's going to rain tomorrow, so I need to go ahead and get all of this knocked out because I'm tired of the car not being done and drivable. Tired of it wrapped in a tarp and having all the holes, you know, exposed and all that stuff. So we need to go ahead. We're gonna get this little table out because here's the panel for the license plate and here's the wing spoiler thing, which we need to completely sand down because the paint is chipping and all that. There's a little nick right here which might need some Bondo, and then yeah, there's a nick right here. There's a couple little spots, so this is going to need some attention, but I need to get it out and get to sanding on this thing. It's going to take a lot of work, but that's okay. So that's what this video is basically finishing the car out and knocking it out. All right, so let's get all this stuff outside and get working. And that's one thing, there's still paint flaking off. So there's gonna be a lot of sanding on this. Basically, I'm trying to get it all the green off. Most of the black, try to get it back down to the bare plastic. Well, this is gonna take a while. I'll catch you when it's done. Sanding is a lot of work. I don't know if I've ever said this in another video or other video, but I suck at body work. I hate doing it. I hate it to a passion. But it's getting there. I've done a lot of sanding with my 80 grit DA and then doing some 320. I've managed to get rid of most of the imperfections that were in the paint and in the body, kind of sanding them until they smooth out. And I mean, it's like a lot better. There's still some of these areas of the paint, they're rough edge. I mean, that right there is really rough. So all this still needs to go. All this up here needs to go. A lot of this is pretty smooth, the transitions. So just a lot more sanding. All right, back to work. Well, I think I got it sanded down to the best of my ability. I mean, hey, not a body man. So basically, this whole back side right here, which is the part that goes down the back of the trunk, I got all of that completely sanded down to back down to the plastic, because this is where all the paint was chipping off. I mean, and then when I did get some of it sanded, it was just rough. The edges were rough. Now all of this up here is the top of the wing. I've had no issues up here. It's all sanded down. All the edges are nice and smooth. I'm going to go over it one more time with, like, you know, 320, and then basically I think we're good to go. We'll go ahead and get it painted and all that stuff. I went ahead and moved it inside my garage. I mean, I know I'm sitting here wearing shorts. It is actually cold outside. I've got heaters, so I'm not really stressed about in here because it is warm inside the garage. It's like crazy that, you know, just staying in the garage makes it this much warmer. So I'm just gonna probably paint it right there. I'm gonna cover the back of the car so I don't get overspray on the car. But basically, we're gonna sand it down one more time, then we're gonna paint it, let it dry, put that on the car, and then the next piece we'll be working on that panel right there. All right, more sanding. Hopefully the heaters aren't making too much noise. But it's all nice and sanded down now. Wipe it down with acetone because it gets a little bit of residue off. One more time on the other side. All right. Now we're good to paint. One thing about this stuff is it does go down really thick and heavy on the first coat, so it's kind of hard to like do a real light coat. But here's what it is. Alright, so there we go, first coat. It's a nice little thin, little light one, nothing fancy. And this stuff does cover really well. I mean, as you can see. Alright, I'm going to let this dry for a few minutes, or tack up, and then we'll get back to spraying the rest of it. I'll let you see what the finished product looks like. Okay, so let it dry, and there it is. Like I say, I'm not a good body man, but this actually came out pretty smooth and pretty decent. So now I'm going to let it continue to dry and let it cure for a little while longer. I mean, this paint, you know, Krylon spray paint, doesn't take long anyways, but I'm going to let it dry, let it cure, and then we're going to basically put it back on the car. So let's go ahead now, put this to the side, and we'll get started on that next little panel for around the license plate, and then basically the back of the car is done. This didn't take much to get this prepped out. Just a real light scuffing on it. This was actually one piece that was in really good condition, so a light scuffing, and then Ready for some paint. So, again, this is going to be exactly how I want the car. Once I get the whole car like sanded down and all that stuff, which I don't know how much more I'm going to be able to get done because the weather is getting bad. So basically, we might change up what we're doing next to the car. But got to get this done, get the back of the car put back together, and then we'll go from there. So let me finish this up, and the next. So let me go ahead, finish painting this piece, then we'll get it installed, and we'll go from there. All right, well, time to start putting it together. All right, and this piece, of course, just goes on the trunk. Now my brightness is too bright, but it just is held on with 4 bolts. So you got 1, 2, and then there's actually 2 bolts that go through here. Alright. Let me adjust this brightness. There we go. Now I gotta get this thing to clip in. Alright. Oh! That there. Bolt there. Okay, there was more bolts than I thought. Oh yay, battery's about to go dead. Alright, gotta get a new battery. Be right back. Alright, new battery. There's that tight. There's that not tight. Trade this one out because I forgot these ones I put on wrong. They're supposed to be a different bolt or a different nut on here. Alright, now we got 2 on the inside, which are these 2. There. And these ones I don't want to put too much because they're the ones that I had to fix. So gotta be a little bit careful with these. Alright, there's that. Now I think these 2 go, yep, they go right there. Alright, now that panel's done. Just gotta put the license plate on now. Now, let's move on to the wing. Let me go grab that. Alright. Now this is the only hard part. is getting the wire loom through here and getting this rubber grommet tucked in. That's why I put rags on here, just kind of, hopefully, so I don't scratch nothing up. Alright. Well, that was more of a real big pain, but that's alright. There it is. Now we just gotta bolt it in. And it's funny, adding just this wing makes the trunk hard to open. Before it would just fly open. But just putting that wing on changes the whole demand, whole thing. Now there's 4 bolts across the front and then 4 nuts across the back. Now I gotta remember where they're all at now. Now the 4 nuts. They were this area. Where were they? Okay. Okay. When you're working upside down, everything looks different. There's one there, one there. All right, need to get a socket. All right, there's one. 2. Last one, then the license plate, and we're done. All right. Guess we're not done. There's one more thing. All right. Well, there it is. Only thing now is we got to put the emblem back on. So let me go find that. We'll put that on. Then we'll give a walk around of it real quick and clean it, because now I got a handprint right there. Alright, well, everything's on. We're going to do a ceramic spray coating on it. Especially since this is just a Krylon paint, that's why I'm doing a Chemical Guys hydrocharge on it, so that way it kind of helps it protect it better and maybe last longer. Alright, well, there it is, completely finished. I mean, I like it. I'm happy with it. It looks good. So now it's time to get it out, start driving it again, at least for a week or so, till the weather gets really bad, because it's starting to get cold. So I guess in a little while we'll do an update video on what I'm going to do to this over the winter time. So until then, we're just going to drive it. I know the gears are slipping in it, but hey, we can still rock it until then. Alright, like, subscribe, comment, catch you in the next video.